Welcome back to the classroom. Come on in. No late pass ever required. Today we are continuing to watch through the behind the scenes video for The Legend of Vox Machina. Last time around we looked at the legend of the story, and this time we are looking at the legend of the world. Now, in the last video it was a lot of fun getting to kind of see how everything kind of came to be and whatnot, and it was just really fascinating to get to revisit the overall story of Vox Machina because of the fact that I did very much miss it. I have been trying to find something to fill the void that is The Legend of Vox Machina in my life, because I have just not found anything else that I have been as adamant about, as excited about, and I just needed to have more. And it's so cool to get the behind the scenes that you guys recommended here. Like, I had no idea these videos existed, but you guys were the ones who told me that they existed, and I'm very happy that you let me know about this. And so thank you very much to my very incredible, just awesome community here. You guys, as always, mean the world to me. Thank you so much. I think that we should just hop into the video, but hey, while you're here, leave a like if you're enjoying this and all the other reactions. Comment down below on anything I might have missed while going through this video, and subscribe while you're at it, as it really does help out a lot. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All right, the legend of the world of The Legend of Vox Machina. Let's see what we got here.
We're seeing these amazing designs coming in.
Rooms and taverns and courts, locations
Ooh.
and color palettes. It's gorgeous. It's epic.
Yes.
It's beyond.
Oh, we're getting all the
To see it
cast
all
rolling
for
in
the
here.
first time,
Ashley!
I went and I sat in my car and I just started crying because I was like, I can't
love
believe
her.
This is real.
What a just fantastic little remix of the theme music.
The trajectory of this story over the
Hey,
years has
Vax,
constantly
what's
defied our
going on, buddy?
expectations. The size and the scale of it has felt so large and sweeping to us in our minds, and so you think, what could possibly live up to it?
Yeah.
And the team at Titmouse has really been answering the call.
Yes, I remember you
Titmouse is
guys
one of the best
mentioning
animation
about
studios around.
Titmouse.
Period.
They had that little Easter egg in the
animation
episode.
cred up the wazoo. They've worked on funny shows, dramatic shows. They've done it all.
It truly feels like a company made
I love
of
Marisha
nerds.
Ray.
Just like our company, we instantly felt a kinship and a shared language. It kind of lowered the barrier to entry.
The people at the top who define the culture and the attitude of the studio are themselves huge nerds.
I
Super into
love
this
it.
stuff. And
Oh,
not
I
just
think
for me, but
that might have
for
been the guy
them.
that they based
This
it
is
off
kind of
of.
the dream project, because we're sort of living out our dream of finally getting to create this type of property.
They aren't wanting to take, something
Yes,
that we created
Laura
and turn it into
Bailey.
something completely different. They want to honor what it was that we did.
Everyone else seems genuinely as excited to be a part of this as
Matt.
we're excited to have it happening.
I'm proud to count myself among the critters. I was one of the 90,000 to back this project in the first
No
place.
way!
I had no idea I was going to be on it.
I
That's
remember very distinctly,
fantastic,
getting my eyes
Travis.
on some of
You
Arthur
beautiful
Loftus, our
bastard,
art
you.
director's first background pieces, and just being stunned.
Not only is he a professional
Oh.
artist and designer, he's also a big Critical Role fan. So
That's
the
so
fact that you've got
cool.
somebody who really knows the
Like,
show, who's designing things even down to minute
a
detail,
fan
like,
getting
even
to
Matt
do it.
Mercer's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, but Arthur hasn't forgotten about it. Like, he's put it in the show.
And that's something you just don't get in any animated series. Usually the executive producer has to explain to the art director
What?
the
I'm
feeling
not-
that he's
I'm not
trying
gonna
to
give
evoke
any-
or she's
any
trying
name
to
credit
evoke,
there?
But
Come on.
Arthur knows that feeling because he watched it live.
Don't do that to
vision does come
Scanlan.
from Arthur,
Come on.
and then what I add to it is how to make the world seem really alive and believable. My role as supervising director is to really coordinate and work with the story team. We're literally translating idea into visual and finding opportunities to really push those moments to make the world feel that much more innovative.
What I would give to have some of these
all
like
the
original
episodes, and he's
artwork.
got the big picture, the 10,000-foot view about where the story is going over the course of the season, where the story is going over the course of the series.
He's
Ooh,
so
okay.
dedicated to making sure that it feels right for The Legend of Vox Machina.
I have never felt more confident in letting other people handle a vision of mine than already seeing what they're doing.
Well,
the whole team.
it's fantastic when it gets to that.
Revisit all these great
Realm of
locations that we explored
Taldore.
in the original Vox Machina campaign that we played through live. Locations
What a
like
phenomenal
Iman.
looking map.
Iman is very much the central fantasy metropolis of this continent, at least from a human society standpoint.
Oh, that's
and
so cool
these
looking.
first episodes really kind of introduce us to that place.
The initial sketches that Arthur did of Aman were so striking and so epic in scale and scope.
Oh,
that
beautiful.
We had to go back
Yep.
and look at Matt's original drawings and be like, is this right? Does this match? And it does. He took what Matt did on a 2D piece of paper and
Stop.
turned it into a 3D world.
Are you
I think when you
serious?
think of
That is so
Iman
cool.
compared to other fantasy cities that you know, like Rivendell, there's going to be a certain familiarity to Amon because it's kind of like a fantasy New York. There are elements to it.
Okay.
Everyone
I
can
love that.
recognize.
Stylistically, we just wanted to give people a nice way to sort of slip into this medieval fantasy world
This,
without
like-
being too challenged with the weirdness of like all the other stuff that's going to come later.
Right.
Beyond Amon, there are a few locations that we get to explore in the animated series first season. Early in, we get to visit the Shale Steps, which is a place that was not seen in the campaign
Right,
stream-wise.
yes.
It's a coastal fishing city among a unique-looking cliff range that itself looks like waves frozen in the motion of crashing onto a shore.
And
Matt,
then Vox Machina,
you
as
just
you know, makes a journey
brilliant
from
beast,
Amon
you.
to Whitestone. And even the journey that they take, Arthur has taken, again, early maps that Matt drew up and turned them into real places with transitions from forest
so
to desert to
cool.
jungle to mountain.
We're looking at different landscapes existing in the real world, taking ideas from each of them and sort of assigning them locations within the group of real
Stop.
world. For
That's
example, when we get
phenomenal.
closer to Whitestone, things look a bit more like Yosemite. It's the Alabaster Sierras, so we picked from the
Right.
actual High Sierras and took those shapes.
My goodness,
and
that's so
the way
cool.
the trees look and the way the vegetation spreads across them and assigned it. Our other large location for season 1 is going to be Whitestone.
Yeah.
The architectural language we really wanted to play with and make sure that it felt authentic.
He went back into the history of the world and the history of the continent and thought, if people had sailed here via boat, what would
Yeah.
their architecture look like?
So all of our
Right,
buildings
right.
kind of have this feeling of like a ship's bow coming out of the ground. All the rooftops have sort of that sloping ship's hull sort of shape to it.
And that's
Yeah,
something
which is
that
really cool.
None of us would have ever thought of, not even Matt, really.
You can't really mention the city of Whitestone without mentioning the Sun Tree.
The first time I saw
Yeah.
the Sun Tree, it was so epic.
I've seen some
Right.
fantastic iterations of the Sun Tree. What Arthur dropped on us the first time that we saw the Sun Tree literally made our jaws drop.
I'm personally more a fan of the small moments. So Gilmore's Goods.
It's
Right.
something that we've
Oh,
pictured
I
in our
loved
head for
Gilmore's.
so long of what
Very
Gilmore's
similar
glorious
to
coast
actually
looks
what I
like.
was thinking in my
There's
head
so much detail.
of
It's
what it
very
looked like.
specific. That was another thing that kind of took me by surprise is sort of the work that everyone put in to understand.
Disrespect to Sam Regal, them
world
not giving him a
we've been
name
playing in for the
tag.
past
Giving
5
everybody
years,
else
and
one.
It's beautiful. It's so good.
All of our locations are
But I love
very
Ashley.
unique from each other.
Don't get me
and
wrong
we've
there.
Gone to great lengths to make sure that every element we include in every scene really expresses the world
Oh my goodness.
as clearly and takes it
Little
further than
details.
whatever we were originally seeing in the stream online.
You really feel like these are drawings of real places and not just
Callison.
a quick sketch of a random temple.
All starts
Oh,
on
you
paper, a bunch of
rock
just
that
words
eyeliner,
describing
man.
Characters in a story. Then we start to try and visualize it with Arthur and his team.
It's a multi-stage process. We start with storyboards that we're working off of that sort of give us an idea what the shot is, where characters are going to be standing, and what the general action of the scene is. And then a background designer is going to take that storyboard and just really flesh out the composition, figure out what design elements we want in there. A background painter takes it next, adds lighting. That lighting is basically used to enhance the storytelling moment.
A really good background by itself without anything else evokes emotion. It tells you instantly what the scene is going to be like.
It's a lot like a DP for live action. You're trying to express what the story is telling you through light and color.
That's the White Stone
not
throne
even
room
just to
instead.
animation, but film in general. Framing is everything. Wherever you place your characters and wherever you place your action is going to have an intense impact on how the audience feels and how the audience relates to what's happening.
It's wild
So
to do all
much
these different
thought
things and then
going
have them
into
slowly
this.
converge into one final piece of media.
We have many, many more months of production ahead of us.
We're getting into the nitty-gritty of it.
It's a never-ending circle of
crazy
work
how
and
far they've
creativity
come.
and energy that's going into the series.
Finally, all of this work, it's all come to fruition.
We are really trying to elevate ourselves to create an animated show that even we've never done before.
I think the fans and critters are going to be floored by what we've made for them.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I mean, they're not wrong in that sense. Oh, still absolutely love that music. Just phenomenal music. Alrighty, so we just finished watching The Legend of the World of The Legend of Vox Machina. Really diving deeper into how much work and effort actually goes into making something like this. So many people don't realize that when you make an animated show, it is sometimes 10 times more challenging than making a live action show, because the animators have to take so long to construct everything from scratch, which still to this day blows my mind. I have the utmost respect for animators. I've only ever even like dabbled in animation, and just because like I teach a little bits and pieces of it in my STEM classes for my middle schoolers. But this is like that is just like tip of the iceberg. I'm talking like we do a little bit of like stop motion and claymation and like flip book sketches. That is nothing compared to the scale of something like The Legend of Vox Machina, which is why I would love to have more of it right now, but I know how much of an insane undertaking it was to even just make this, what we got so far, and to have the animation look as beautiful as it does was just so incredible to see. It really showed the love, the care, the attention to detail that every single person who worked on this project had. Whether it was just like, the voice actors obviously get so much of the credit, but some of these unsung heroes over at Titmouse here really just had like really a passion for what it was that they were doing here. I mean, like they said right off the get-go, like the people in charge of doing a lot of this animation, hey, we're critters, we backed the project too, we just didn't even know that we were going to be the ones making it. Like, that right there just shows how much of an impact these stories already had just from the live streams themselves. And so it was really cool getting to see a couple of the other characters, a couple of the other voice actors getting to say hello. Still, you didn't give a name card for Sam Riegel. If I missed that, then that's fine. No, there was one. Never mind. I saw it. I thought I must have missed it. I thought that they disrespected my boy Scanlon here, but I'm very happy that they gave him a name card. So disregard everything. I very much missed it the first time around. Obviously, I was too enthralled with the beautiful man that I was seeing in front of me, and so really cool kind of getting to hear each of them talk about how much this actually meant to them and the various layers that go into making the animation for something like this. you got to think there's the background artist, then there's the lighting artist, there's the painters who go in to add extra detail, and then the actual animators themselves who go in to add actual movements and what. Just like all of it is insane amounts of detail that go even into a 5-second shot of this beautiful landscape. And so once again, utmost respect for that. It was also really cool how like they showed some of the different maps, some of the different source material that Matt had come up with in making all of this stuff. And so like the realm of Taldore, like that old timey looking map, I really want to eventually get that made of the realm that I have made myself, and try to make it into a map that looks a little bit more like this for my own D&D campaign, because I've run it a couple of times for students, a couple of times for my some of my friends and family. Never have gotten really far into the campaign that I planned for obvious reasons. Scheduling is a bitch, as I'm sure many of you very well know when it comes to playing D&D. And so I would love to be able to take this, take the map that I have and make it into a more professional looking sketch or drawing that looks like it was literally a folded up map that somebody had. The attention to detail here is phenomenal, and how they were able to take two-dimensional sketches and images that were designed initially by Matt Mercer and then created afterwards by, it looks like somebody named Andy Law. Not familiar with their work. I do apologize if that is somebody I should know. But the maps themselves look like actual, like almost as if you were going to a theme park. Like it's something that could actually be followed in a very straightforward manner. And so just a really, really cool, like extra bit of detail that they took a two-dimensional image and made it into the three-dimensional thing that we see in the actual show itself. And then even taking locations that weren't even in the actual show itself, or in the actual live stream itself, and turning them into basically just what Matt described. Like he describes everything in so much detail that you can easily, like he's very good at imagery, very much so. Like you can picture everything that he is talking about in your head clear as day. And it's another reason why like Gilmore's was very similar to what I was imagining in my head every time that they actually went to Gilmore's. And then even to go beyond that, they would look at the maps and say like, oh, this is kind of the type of topography that we see, the type of landmarks that you see. And so they looked at inspiration from actual places in the world and then applied it to a fantasy setting in this sense, and basically tried to say like, all right, based off of where this is what the landscape would look like. And in addition to that, how everybody would end up building the places that they are inhabiting. And so like so much attention to detail. So incredible that so many talented, thoughtful, yet passionate people were working on this. Because as we saw very much in the show, it was something that you could tell they were enjoying, they were loving what they were doing. And also at the same time just had a general sense of care that they ingrained in everything that they were doing. And it makes me so happy to see that they were just as giddy behind the scenes as it seems they were in when the actual final product came out. It's so cool to see people enjoying the things that they are getting to make. And I will say it's a nice segue into what it is that I'm doing here. Like, this is something that I'm very much enjoying. I love being able to make content for you guys. And while it's still very much in its early stages, its early development, I'm still fairly new at this. I really only started doing reaction videos at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. As of this point in time of filming, it is April 27th. And it has just been an incredible journey going along with not just the show, but this community that has started to form around these videos that you guys are watching. And I could not be any more thankful because it allows me to do what I really enjoy, which is messing around with this stuff. I always nerd out about the stuff that I'm watching. If I like something, I show it very quickly. And so just from the bottom of my heart, all I can say is thank you for this. Like, it's you're making a lonely teacher's or not lonely, a lowly teacher's dreams become a reality. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do some form of content creation, even as early back as high school, but I didn't even know that I wanted to do it at the time. I made, videos that nowadays would be panned. They were very stupid, but we thought they were the most incredible things growing up. And now I've been able to take that and some of the experience that I've had throughout college and working as a teacher and being able to apply it to what it is that I'm doing now. And it's so awesome to be able to share these moments with you guys. So I'll end off with a thank you so much for all of your incredible support. Don't worry, we've got 4 more videos to react to for this little behind the scenes series. And so make sure you stick around and subscribe so you don't miss anything. And hey, while you're at it, leave a like if you enjoyed this reaction and comment on anything I might have missed or anything that wasn't in the video that goes along with the idea of the world of Vox Machina with Taldori, any of that stuff that I might not know. I am still working through the actual sessions, the actual live streams, and yes, I am watching them. So don't worry that, especially with me still being on the episode of the Sun Tree, I know I can hear the comments in my head right now, like, you're still on the Sun Tree, you were on that a while ago. I know. But I have a very long car ride coming up soon, and I'm hoping to bang out a bunch of hours of listening to it, and so I'm very much looking forward to it. But in the meantime, thank you again. Class, you are officially dismissed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.